was just updated, and there's a lot of things in the update. So we got the whole map decorated with like pumpkins and stuff, as you guys can see. And there's a lot of other things as well, like a new event and everything. But what we're going to be focusing on in this video are the nerfs and buffs of all the weapons, and also from last update as well. So it's not just update 6, it's also from update 5, because update 5 had many nerfs and buffs, and then update 6 also had a lot of nerfs and buffs. So if you want to know what the best weapons are, I'm going to be doing a tier list in this video. So, and just to quickly show you guys, I just wanted to say, as you guys can see, the minigun and the paintball gun, the RPG, the shotgun, the hexagon, the handgun, they all got nerfed and buffed. But in the last update it was even more insane. As you can see, there were so many nerfs and buffs, maybe like even almost every weapon in the entire game. Like, look at these are all nerfs and buffs. Alright, so starting off with the bow. The bow is probably an A tier for me. I use it a lot. The bullets are so like big on the bow, and the hitbox is so big. So basically, that is the reason the bow is so overpowered, because you can literally just time your shots and get like free 80 damage in like 1 second, bro. It is so insane. So I use a bow. It's not quite an S tier because it doesn't one-shot headshot, because the headshot does 120. I feel like it should do 100 and 150, so why can't the bow do it? And the bow literally does more body damage, so I don't get why that is a thing, but hopefully they will change it and then it will be like an S. Okay, so now we're on to the burst, and honestly the burst is probably an A tier weapon as well. It got nerfed, but the nerf kind of bumped it from an S tier to an A tier, if that makes sense. It does like 15 less damage if in like one burst if you hit all headshots, but hitting all headshots is kind of hard, and I'm pretty sure from like the further you are away, it does less damage. So it literally does 6 damage if you're like on crossroads and you're like on the other side of the map, or if you're playing like free for all. So it's not even that good if you're like far away. It's only really good close range, because it's also more accurate as well because of like how much the bullet drops and stuff like that. So I'm probably putting it in A tier. Alright, that's probably what like it deserves as a weapon. So yeah, let's move on to the hexagon. Okay, so the hexagon is definitely an S tier for me. It is the best secondary in the game in my opinion. It just a really good splash damage, which is 10. The splash damage did get buffed, but the base damage did get nerfed, which is kind of a sad thing. I wish it still did 28, but 20 damage is still pretty good. I mean, it does 120 damage if you hit all your shots, and I basically hit a lot of my hexagon shots anyways because of how like big the hitbox is with the hexagon. So that's why I put it in S tier. Okay, now we're on to the AR, another S tier weapon. It is absolutely insane. This is the default weapon, and it's still one of the best weapons in the game. I'm gonna put the hexagon in front because there is a better primary weapon than this, but it's still S tier because of how good it is, and you can demolish someone in seconds with the AR. Okay, now we're on to the fists, and the fists are probably an A tier because you can double jump with them, and I'd say the fists are pretty underrated. I know my friend likes using the fists and he's really good with them, so just because of that I'm gonna put it in A tier. But me personally, I'd probably put it in a B tier, but because I've seen a lot of people be good with the fists, and because it does a lot of damage and it's really quick for attacking, I'm probably going to put it in B, sorry, not B, A as a weapon. But for me, I'll probably put it in B, but I'm just going to leave it in A, and I'll see later on like when I'm trying to arrange other weapons and stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the flare gun, and I'm probably going to put the flare gun in a B tier. It's probably well balanced. The thing about the flare gun is you can just time your shots so easily and get a quick 70 damage, but I'd probably use a better like secondary like the hexagon, because if my primary weapon runs out of bullets, I'm basically cooked, and I'll have to use my melee, or I'll have to just like, you know, rely on like drawing the match. So it's not the most reliable, so that's why I'm putting it in B tier. Alright, so now on to the flamethrower. The flamethrower is probably an S tier. It can burn someone in seconds, and it can fling someone off the map. Like, what is there not to like about the flamethrower apart from going against a flamethrower player? Alright, I hate it when people use that thing in backrooms, so that is definitely an S tier. And by the way, the AR is better than the flamethrower, but it's just because on certain maps the flamethrower is just really annoying. Okay, so we're on to the flashbang, and honestly the flashbang should just be a D tier. There is no point of the flashbang. It doesn't even tell you when you flash the player, so you don't even know if you flashed them or not. So basically you're just gonna guess, and if you haven't flashed them, you're probably gonna get demolished. So there's no point using it, and there's probably better to use things like the Molotov or the medkit instead. So now on to the freeze ray. Same thing, it's not bad. The freeze ray is not bad. Like if you just get a freeze ray and just spam someone with a minigun or like headshot them with the sniper, that is good. But the freeze gun is way too slow. Like no one's ever falling for it. Alright, I know Tanker likes using it, but let's be honest, you are not Tanker, you are not him, and you're not good with the freeze ray. Well, I'm just talking to like majority of the people, including me, because I hate the freeze ray. It's way too slow, and I don't like it. Okay, now we're on to the grenade. There is the strategy with the grenade where you just like launch yourself into the air. So just for that reason, it's probably the best B tier weapon. It's not quite an A tier, because of its like cooldown. The cooldown, you can only use the grenade like 3 times in 1 round, which is respectable. It is pretty well balanced, but if you can use it like 5 times in 1 round, it would probably be an A tier, because like you can just launch yourself across the map, or you can just hit someone for like 70 damage, which is really overpowered. So yeah, moving on to the grenade launcher, I'd say it's a C tier. It's not quite a D tier, just because it does do kind of a decent amount of damage, but the RPG is 10 times better, and there's way better primary weapons to use. That's the reason it's a C tier. The reason some of these weapons are low ranks is because it's not because they're necessarily bad, because things like the freeze ray, they're not really bad. It's just because it's really slow, and like it doesn't have much competition, because I'd much rather use a medkit over the freeze ray. So that's just something I want to clarify. It's not because some of these weapons are bad, it's just because there's literally no competition with like the grenade launcher, with the flamethrower, or like the AR, if you get what I mean. Okay, so now we're on to the handgun. It is probably one of the most underrated weapons. It's also part of the default loadout. If you guys are unaware, the default loadout is the fists, the grenade, the handgun, and the AR. So I'm putting the handgun in A because if you have a sniper, basically what you do is you can just body shot them twice and then hit them 1 time with the handgun. This was my strategy for like a good 2 weeks, but then I'm kind of just went like with the bow now, or like the AR, or the flamethrower. That's kind of my strategy right now, but before it was one of my like main strategies, so I have to put it in A tier, and I still use it sometimes. Obviously it did get a buff, but the buff wasn't too major, so it's still going to be an A tier anyways, even if it was in the last update. Okay, so I kind of want to move a bit quick because I don't want to make the video too long. So we're going on to the katana, and I'm putting the katana in A tier, I guess, maybe like in front, but not better than the bow and the burst. But actually no, better than the burst, because basically what you can do with the katana is you can just reflect bullets, and if the person's on mobile, they're basically cooked. Alright, you can just reflect like 1,000 damage, because mobile players sometimes are really unskillful. They stand still and they do like 1,000,000 damage to you. So the way you can go against that is just by using the katana, and they will have nothing to do about it. Alright, so now moving on to the knife, and the knife is one of my favorite melees in the entire game, because it's so troll. You can literally one shot with them if you backstab them. I love backstabbing people, and yeah, it does like 40 damage per hit though, but it's still pretty good, and it has increased movement speed, so it's good for movement as well. So that's why I'm putting the knife in S tier. Okay, now moving on to the medkit. I'm putting the medkit in probably S tier at the very front, because I bought this thing in July and it's absolutely insane. It has saved me so many times. It's the reason I have like 400 wins on my account, and yeah, it's definitely an S tier, and it deserves to be nerfed because of how good it is. But at the same time, I don't want it to be nerfed because I own the weapon. But at the same time, I also feel bad for people who have to go against the medkit, so I'm putting it in S tier at the very front. Okay, so now we have the minigun. I'm probably gonna put this in C tier, because if someone has the the katana, you're basically cooked. They're just gonna reflect all your bullets, and it takes a lot of time to switch your weapons, and also you have to charge it up, so it's probably not the best, but it is okay. So I'm putting it in C tier. Okay, now we're on to the Molotov, and the Molotov is probably a B tier. It is the most balanced weapon in the game in my opinion. There's nothing much to say about it. It does like 60 damage if you're lucky, but it probably does around 40 if you like throw your Molotov at the right person and they don't move. Moving on to the paintball gun, which is probably the best weapon in the game. It's not better than the medkit because of like some reasons, because the medkit is always going to be the best thing in the game. Obviously unless he gets like a major nerf or something. But I'm saying the paintball gun, they nerf it every update and it's still not bad, bro. Like the paintball gun is absolutely insane. It deserves to be S tier no matter what. So yeah, it's better than the AR as well, by the way, which just in my opinion. And it's probably better than the hexagon if we were to compare them. So yeah. And now we're moving on to the revolver. I'm probably going to put the revolver in high C tier, maybe low B tier, because of how high the recoil is. It is now 5 shot. I'm sorry, I think it's now like 6 shot or 5 shot, but it used to be like 4 shot or 5 shot. So yeah, the number of shots that it takes to kill a person has went down in the recent update. So that's the only reason I'm putting it in C tier. Otherwise, it's not too bad, but it's so hard to hit your shot sometimes because of the recoil and stuff. So yeah, moving on to the RPG. The RPG used to be an S tier weapon, but because it doesn't one shot anymore, I'm probably going to put it at the front of A tier because it still does 120 damage, which is way too overpowered still. So basically, if you hit them directly in the face, you can just do some splash damage and they're basically just dead. So it's still really overpowered, but it's not as unskillful as it was like a few updates ago, or like last update. Okay, now we're onto the scythe, and I think this is like our last S tier because the scythe is absolutely insane. It's my favorite melee right now. It's helped me so much, like trying to draw the map. Sorry, not map, match. Like if I just want to draw the match and I'm really low on HP, it's especially good on maps like arenas and docks because you can just move up structures really fast and you can just move around the map and have a quick little dash to help you out. Okay, so now we're on to the shorty, and I'm going to put the shorty in B tier. It's probably the best B tier weapon because it can literally one-shot you, but it's really hard to get a one-shot. Like, it's very rare if I was to hit a one-shot, or if anyone was to hit a one-shot, unless you're on like mobile. If you're a mobile player, it'll probably be in A tier, but because I'm a PC player, I'm probably putting it in B. Now for the shotgun, I'm probably going to put it in the worst C tier. It probably might be a D tier because the thing is, the shotgun used to be really good, but I don't know what happened. Like, it does like 10 damage now, which is so bad. Like, even if you're like kind of close to them, like mid-range, it only does like 10 damage, which is not even worth it. It is kind of good on mobile, so if you're a mobile player, it's probably a B tier, maybe an A tier. But close range, it does 70 damage. But if someone had an AR close range or an hexagon, you're basically just cooked. There's no reason to use a shotgun, so I'm putting it in C tier. Alright, so now we're on to the slingshot. I have the slingshot, but it's kind of just lying in my inventory. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Walls, that it's not like anything special, so I'm putting it in B tier. Okay, now we're on to the sniper, and I'm going to put the sniper in a high A tier because I'm trying to get really good with it. The sniper is really overpowered in my opinion, and I'd say that the sniper is one of the best weapons in the game, but it's not quite an S tier for me yet because I haven't fully mastered it. But once I do, it probably should be an S tier, so yeah, I'm keeping that in A tier. Okay, so now we're on to the subspace trip mine. Okay, and we're gonna put this in a high C tier because it literally leaves the guy on 1 HP, so it does 149 damage, which is kind of insane. However, the thing is, no one's really falls for it, and it's very hard for someone to step on it because of how big some of the maps are. Like, if you were to put it on Crossroads, it would be a D tier. If you were to put it on Backrooms, it would be an A tier. So it just depends on the map, but overall it's probably a C tier. Alright, now we're on to the trowel, and I'm going to put the trowel in like a mid B tier. It's probably the most well balanced in the game. However, you can literally crank 90s in rivals. Like, who doesn't want to do that? Anyways, now on to the final weapon, the Uzi. Okay, I'm going to put the Uzi in A tier. It is a really good weapon, but it's not the best, so it's not really an S tier. The thing with the Uzi is it does like 8 damage, but if it was to get like just 7 damage, it would be a B tier. But because it really relies on like how fast like it shoots bullets, like 1 damage less or 1 damage more would really affect the Uzi. So if it was to get 1 more damage, it'll probably be an S tier. If it was to get 1 less damage, it'll probably be a B tier. It all just depends. It's probably a bit unreliable, but it's only like 20 keys, so I'd recommend buying it if you have keys that you don't know what to spend on. So yeah, this is my completed tier list. If you guys like agree with me, disagree with me, make sure you guys comment down below what your thoughts are, and like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want more videos from me, and it also helps me out a lot. And yeah, that's basically the end of the video. Make sure you guys also join my Discord server, link in the description. I do a lot of giveaways. I'm going to be doing a giveaway when I hit 100 subs and 50 members. We are only 8 subs away and 9 Discord members away from the giveaway, so make sure you guys join, link in the description. And anyways, just make sure if you want to screenshot this, screenshot it. I'm going to put it on my Discord if you guys want to see it fully. If you agree with me, as I just said, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.